Ranger Doug was actually a ranger.
Okay.
Worked at the Grand Teton National Park.
Mm-hmm.
And he came across one of these posters, which was in a trash pile when they were having a cleaning day.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I like this poster. I'm going to keep it. It's kind of torn up, whatever. Kept it around for a few years. And then one day decided, you know what? I'm going to look into this. And I'm going to see if I can recreate it and like its majesty.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of several years, he taught himself screen printing.
Mm-hmm.
And then has accumulated 42 actual posters.
Oh.
And tried to recreate them to the best of his ability and like reprinted them and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it was such a like lengthy project.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty cool. You can see some of his interpretations. Like, for example, he only has the black and white sense of it, right? So he just creates one and guesses on the color.
Oh, wow.
Because he has no idea.
Yeah.
But then later, so because of the work that Ranger Doug and Brian Mobius, his illustrator, were doing, it got the attention of the other national parks. And so the first one that he did that was not a duplicate of an original was the Devil's Tower.
Oh, okay. I was just about to ask you if he had done his own work after duplicating, but
He sure did. I mean, he learned screen printing for something. It wasn't just about conservation. That's a really big part of it. In fact, they even donate a lot of their proceeds back to the national parks, which is cool. But then you kind of run into this weird copyright thing too.
Okay, I can see that.
So he's recreated a lot of these. In fact, he now has the largest collection of original posters, which he's donated once he was done with them. His collection is larger than that of the Library of Congress.
What?
Yes. He has 6. Rolling in the posters. Yeah. So the problem is people think that the posters are all public domain. The original ones are, but the ones that he's created since are not. And so he's run into a lot of issues with people slapping him up on coffee mugs and bags and whatever without permission. Unfortunately, because the work is so good, you can't really tell it apart from the original.
Yes. Oh.
And I think a huge part of why that work is so good is he insists on being historically accurate in the sense that he is still doing old school screen printing.
Okay. Nice.
Now he's got like a 3rd generation printer which does it for him. And it just adds this extra depth that you don't get from a inkjet printer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. You know, okay, so this makes sense because I didn't know where this style came from, but I do see if you go to like NASA's website, they have their own posters. And I love those posters.
Him too.
Okay, this makes sense. Okay, I was like, I have seen this before in other places.
And the style is prolific. Like it's all over the place now. And it's hard to pin down who the original artists were because the records are in and the posters themselves haven't survived. But you can see on a lot of them, the little seal at the bottom will have initials in it, but it's often the screen printer's initials, not necessarily the person who designed it.
Oh.
So there's a guy, can't remember his name, we'll flash it up. I always have this problem, I guess, who is attributed to most of those original national park posters, but we can't know for sure. And then the same thing now is they're all over the place. You can see a little bit of the process of the screen printing, which I think is really cool. And this was the original poster was Don't Kill Our Wildlife. And then they modified it.
Okay.
And honestly, to me, there's no relationship between the two.
Yeah, no, they're two very different to me.
Right. But it's really cool to see the process of the layers. And I think it's so cool that they're still doing the screen printing because you get mistakes, you get intricacies that you don't get from just a flat printing and jet kind of thing, which a lot of the current artists use instead.
I see a lot of this type of art and like institutions, like again, NASA or something like political, White House or like national parks. It's kind of where I see a lot of these types of like posters.
Absolutely. The original WPA did everything. They did medical stuff, educational posters, war propaganda, the works. The national park ones, for whatever reason, are the ones that are kind of the most recognizable. You can see a couple of examples of what he has created that were not copies of the originals. And this one in particular, I just love it.
This is a poster, right?
Yes.
I feel like this would be like well, I mean, obviously it's a poster, but I feel like I would have like a miniature, like a postcard or like a pamphlet. This is giving me like, I think because of all the information that's on the right-hand side, it's giving me like a literature that you would hold in your hand and you'd be like, oh, or you would like hang up somewhere, but it's just small.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's giving me that vibe, but I do like this a lot. It looks like something I would hold.
They did originally do postcard size one to get them out there. That's so funny.
Okay.
And then the idea with all the information is this would be put up in your civic center, right? And it's to get people to want to go to their national parks is basically the idea behind them. It's an advertisement.
Yeah.
But yeah, the colors, and I love especially about the redwood one is the scale. You have this itty bitty cabin and it just shows you how massive those trees are. It's so cool.
I do like that one.
Such a simple use of scale to really convey the sheer majesty of the redwood forest.
I like this one too. I like it's very like purpley orange. I've been
on a purpley orange thing lately.
Oh yeah?
I notice a lot of the paintings I've been doing are purple and orange.
Interesting.
And Andy's all like, it's gonna be brown. I was like, just you wait. If you do it right, it will not be brown. It'll be purple and it'll be orange and it's gonna be beautiful.
I believe
like
you.
This one.
Ooh.
Oh, so here's an example of the monuments. So they did a whole series of monument ones as well.
Also looks like something I would like. I'm coming to New York and I get this little pamphlet, like, I can't be a whole.
Welcome to America. Ellis Island.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely gives those vibes.
Ooh, guys, there's Yellowstone. Nice. Pretty.
So Zion. Let's take a moment to talk about Zion because it's one of our closer national parks and it was probably the first one I ever went to.
Okay.
And I have props.
Oh, there's a prop.
Several, actually.
Ooh.
So you can get these little booklets. And this particular booklet, all the art is by Joel Anderson. And he actually paints these like right on a huge canvas. So that's kind of cool. But look at this Zion. And then compare it to Ranger Doug's Zion. And you get kind of the same vibes, although the style itself is a little bit different.
Yeah,
and then, wait, there's more. Straight off my walls. So every time we go to a national park, not only do we get our little book stamped by art, and we get the little challenge coins. So here's some of from Zion. And this is a totally different artist, John Mublenkamp. So you can see that there's a ton of artists who have adopted this style.
Wow.
It's just we're so used to seeing it.
Yeah.
It's like background noise to us a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like I wanted to take a moment and really appreciate where these came from and why they exist because this was a huge service back in the day.
I feel so enlightened for knowing more and to seeing this and talking about this. I had no idea the impact this artist had. I'm just like, wow.
Well, see, the thing about Doug is he's a conservationist at the heart of it. And not just about the national park, so that's part of it, but the artwork. And he really kind of understands that history and goes way out of his way. Dude's a dentist in Alaska, traveling in his little refashioned tugboat from small village to small village doing dental work. And this is kind of his side project.
Wow.
But yeah, just for the love of the art And he really wants to put that artistry back into it. And that's why he insists on doing the screen printing and everything, just like the old days. And I love it.
ChatGPT knows nothing.
Thank you for watching this clip of Spotlight with Purple Easel.
We're art instructors at SoCal's largest paint sip studio.
Check out purpleeaselplus.com to join the largest online paint and sip community.
And you want to make sure to like, subscribe, follow, ring that bell, add to the conversation, comment below, and check out our full episodes at Purple Easel Spotlight.
We'll see you soon.